morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank those of you who came from abroad. It's very important for us Israelis to have friends here with us, and so thank you for being here. This is the 14th time that Tel Aviv University holds the Cyber Week. It started with a very modest symposium 14 years ago and developed into a very rich international event that attracts many people from all over the world. In regular times, we have many thousands of participants from dozens of countries. We also have the industry, both in Israel and abroad, involved in that conference. As you know, Israel is a superpower in cyber security, and Tel Aviv University is, in a way, the center of cyber security. First of all, thanks to my friend, Professor Itzik Ben Israel, former Major General Itzik Ben Israel, who leads the Blavatnik Cyber Research Center here at Tel Aviv University. This is an opportunity to thank him and also to Gili Drober Einstein and the wonderful team that take care of this event every year. As you all know, we are still in the middle of a very hard, challenging war that was forced upon Israel on October 7. But nevertheless, the university, together with many other entities in Israel, decided to keep a routine life side by side with the war, because this is part of the resilience of Israel. That was also the strategic decision that has been made by Tel Aviv University just a couple of months after October 7 to teach, to continue with research, and also to do whatever we can to enable our reservist students to complete the academic year. You know, Tel Aviv University, for those of you who are less familiar with the university, so Tel Aviv University is the largest one in Israel. We have about 30,000 students. About half of them are undergraduate students. Many of them served in active duty during the war. About 7,000 of our students served as soldiers during this war. 1/3 of them are women, by the way. And we, as I said, we do whatever we can to continue with the routine life here of the university. And I think that holding this Cyber Week is also an indication that Israel is resilient and Tel Aviv University is resilient. So thank you again for coming here this year. Now, the university, Tel Aviv University, is a very comprehensive university. We have 9 faculties in all fields. We have 32 schools and departments and many other units. It is not a coincidence that cyber security is a strength of Tel Aviv University. The center, the Blavatnik Center, is a multidisciplinary center, combines forces from all over the campus. It's not just about the core scientists who work at the center, but also people coming from social sciences, from law, and for other disciplines that are related to cybersecurity. Now, this year, we combined, together with the Cyber Week, also the AI Week. The combination of cybersecurity and AI is very promising on one hand, but also alarming on the other. About more than a year ago, Sam Altman, the CEO of generative AI, of ChatGPT, visited here and gave a lecture explaining that in his view, the risks of ChatGPT and generative AI is comparable to the risk of nuclear weapons. And especially if you combine AI together with offensive cyber, this is probably not an exaggeration. And the question then, well, usually we know that generative AI and the ChatGPT accelerate science. In many fields, it's good news. But at the same time, it could also accelerate science that might be risky, and offensive cyber is a typical example. And the question then is whether we should be indifferent to that risk, hoping that it would never become such a threat to humanity, or do something about it. So when we asked Sam Altman this question, his answer was that it should be regulated. He understands that there is a risk here, and regulation, in his view, and probably in the view of many other people coming from technology, is that regulating could be a solution. I'm not sure about that. I'm not a scientist. I'm a law professor, so I know something about regulation, much less about technology and the risks of cybersecurity. But cybersecurity, or in particular offensive cyber. But when you think about regulating nuclear weapons, regulation is possible. It's not always possible to enforce the regulations, but it has an advantage, it has a benefit that there are regulations that limit the abilities of countries to develop their nuclear capacities, and at least theoretically, it could be enforced. It's different with the combination of artificial intelligence and offensive cyber, because here, even if you have regulations that limits the capability or the abilities of countries or scientists to develop offensive AI, it's very hard to detect whether those regulations are kept or not. It's not like with nuclear weapons that in order to develop it, you need to have facilities like nuclear reactors, etc., and this is observable. It's totally different when it comes to artificial intelligence, to ChatGPT, to generative AI together with offensive cyber. So it's not that I have a solution to this problem, but I must say that I and many others are troubled by this specific risk. And I think that also the scientists, not only the regulators, only the scientists should consider those risks when developing the new technologies. Once you accelerate offensive cyber, also offensive cyber is accelerated, but you can never know how this race between offensive and defensive cyber would end up. So, nevertheless, I'm looking forward to this very interesting Cyber Week. I'm sure it would be very interesting and intriguing, definitely together with artificial intelligence. And as I begin my talk, I want to conclude by thanking again Itzik Ben Israel and his team for holding this very important Cyber Week and also AI Week during wartime. Thank you very much.